Hey everybody, welcome to the Self-Care Bear Club. This is the podcast where you listen to me talk a bunch of nonsense about my experience. Can you hear me? This is kind of far away. That shit's probably picking up the wind more than it's picking up me. Thank you for being here. I'm Care, your coach, your friend, your confidant, and I am never here to tell you what to do, my friends, nor how to do it. Just work out my own experience in real time with you and see what conversation stirs up within you from listening to me jibber jabber, right? I don't intend for you to catch every word. That would be fucking nuts. And I don't expect you to remember anything I say. The only thing I want you to remember, testing, you listening? It's personal. Self-care, self-love, self-whatever is about yourself. And in this world, it's very easy to get grabbed in all different directions. We consume a lot. We consume the social medias. We consume the news. We consume our partner's words. We consume our family's vibes. We consume. And if you're not directly taking some of your time and tuning it inward, in my opinion, then you just run it on a program. And we don't need you running on a program. You are not designed to run on a program. So take a deep breath. And if that's all exhausting and you felt overwhelmed lately, you are not alone. And that's why today we are zooming out. Pew. I get hyper fixated, hyper focused on certain friends, certain family. Sometimes everybody's all included, right? I tend to be hyper focused on anything that comes in my direction. I care about my people. I care about my connections. I care about my connections. I'm a self-care bear. I fucking care. So the biggest and most important part of my journey has to be to bring it back in and again focus on me, and not in a selfish way, but it is, but in a way where it's like tending to myself and then in turn tending to everybody else and everything else in my life with a better fucking attitude, right? With a little awareness of I am good, I am awesome, I can do anything. And you'll forget and you'll get sucked in these different directions and you'll zoom back in, right? And you'll be like focusing on your partner's actions or your mother's actions or your neighbor's actions. Some stranger's actions you don't even know. I talked to a friend today, and God bless his friend, but he had the craziest fucking story. And I'm at the point where I was like, yes, I can have this conversation and not have it truly affect me. But if I'm being truly honest, maybe not in certain scenarios. Maybe not before I get into the vortex, right? So when we zoom out and we go general, so think of a camera and you're focused. You can zoom all the way in like you're on a patch of grass, right? On the surface, we zoom out, we see a patch of grass. You go to sit on said patch of grass, and now you are in that grass, and you have a little bit closer perspective. So you might see a ladybug, you might see a dragonfly on this grass, just sitting upright, right? And then if you were to zoom in more and lay on the grass like this with your chin in your hands, then you might see some of the tinier organisms, right? The little flies that are like the size of a pin drop. I don't know what those are called. If you do, let me know. You might see some ticks in the grass. I don't know. You can focus on negative things too. You would just keep zooming in, and that's what we do in our lives, right? Without even being aware of it. Without even being 100% aware of it all the time. Some of us, not even a little bit of the time, right? This is not shame, blame, or guilt, my friends. It might feel like that sometimes if you're used to shame and blame, but it's not shame, blame, or guilt. We gotta slowly let that go, right? This is just realness. So as we zoom back out, microorganisms all the way to this picture of that grass, maybe in a whole entire field, maybe in a whole entire mountain range, maybe there's trees, it's a whole entire like scene, right? It's a whole entire life. And when we zoom in and we focus on specifically negative things, like if you're doing this with positive things, that's when zooming in is chef's kiss, right? That's when going general is good. When you're in alignment, when you're in this conscious state, when you're like, I'm vibing, I'm fucking vibing. You don't need to know why, but that's when you can go general and work out the details, right? And be like, oh yeah, that's when you're going to say good things about that shit. And it's going to feel natural. It's going to feel natural. It's going to feel organic. It's going to feel good. And then when we need to zoom out is when our mood is a little heavier, when we are hyper-focused on a problem, not the solution, when we are hyper-aware of somebody's negative vibe, when we are hyper-aware of our negative vibe, and we want to force it and like click it into place when all we need to do is just let that shit flow. So where did we go? Where did we go? There is a time and place for zooming in and a time and place for zooming out. So I'm not saying, again, do one or the other. I'm saying if you've been in a headspace where you find yourself, again, coming up against any resistance of any level, this can go on for levels and levels and levels and levels and levels, like you're a motherfucking Street Fighter. That preview, by the way, nuts. Nuts. Like, it's easy to live under a rock nowadays, in my opinion. And I do. And then when I see some crazy ass preview like that, a preview's the whole movie if you ask me nowadays. But that might have to do with our attention span again. And probably has a lot to do with a lot of things. So where are you zooming in? Where you feel like it's not serving you? Where could you zoom in where it would serve you? Zooming in, zooming out, zoom in, zoom out. I started, thinking way too hard, getting way too introspective just in that moment. Because again, I've been zoomed in and not necessarily making any moves that way. So in my interpersonal relationships, I'm hyper aware of how I have performed in the past and how this new version of me just isn't willing to do that anymore. And again, on very subtle levels, if you're friends with me, if you're family with me, I don't want you to think, oh, this bitch has been acting fake. No, like that was the realest me I knew at the time. And now there's this new version of me that's like, well, we can up the authenticity, bitch. Ooh, we can up that authenticity, bitch. And it's going to be all good. Yo, I just had a moment again. That's in real time. If you know anything about frequencies, vibrations, like in your ears, have you ever had a moment where you like literally tune, like a tuning fork, to a new frequency with sound? It just happened. I'm freaking the fuck out. Okay, God. I don't know what to say. If you're following, yeah. If you're lost, yeah. All of the above, my friend. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. That's what being spiritual is like. Spiritual is just being you in the moment. The most spiritual thing you can do is love everybody. Oh. I have a few friends who are the most spiritual people in the world, and they don't talk about spirituality. They don't like it. They just are it. And you are it. You are it. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out. Let's not hyper focus on a project you're trying to get done, a project you want to be perfect. A comment somebody said that literally has nothing to do with you, but you're somehow making it about you. your friends' relationships, how your family interacts with each other, none of my business. None of my business. And so when you zoom out and then you show up in these places, it's going to be weird. But again, you're not hyper fixated on, oh, this person isn't responding the way I want them to. Well, of course not, because you're super hyper fixated on it. Now you're being fucking weird and you're not just letting them respond how they could respond. It might be weird, it might be unnatural for a little bit because you're changing a dynamic. They're used to you showing up in a certain way, and that's not wrong, that's not right, that's not shameful, that's not bad on them. Like, that's what you've been doing for a hot second, right? So let the Rubik's Cube fucking shift, zoom out, just so you can zoom back in. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, let me know. If you have no idea where she's going, me fucking either, and it feels so good. That's it for me today, because I'm still like, I gotta go and zoom in on this moment. So that's something, perfect example right there. That's something you can hone in on, right? Once you zoom back out and you're like, okay, I'm taking things too seriously. It's all good. Everything's always worked out in the past. Like, I know I got this pattern. Like, it's all good. It's all good. My thoughts are just thoughting. My thoughts are just thoughting. They've been thoughting for a while, and those thoughts, whatever forms of thought I used to have, the negative ones, the not so positive ones, that's old. They're like trickling out slowly but surely. And then I'm replacing them with these new thoughts. So like in the moment we're like, oh, that was cool. And then we're so quick to get on to the next video, the next little short, YouTube short, TikTok short. No. I want to stay there. I want to stay in that celebration. I want to remind myself, like, if you're going to spend your time thinking, you have the power to focus, right? And this isn't going to happen all the fucking time, but when you have the time, either quiet that mind or direct your thoughts when it's not quiet. So I'm going to go outside right now. I'm going to sit my ass in the grass, also touch the grass from time to time, if not every fucking day. And I'm going to go think about that moment I just had. I'm going to pinky promise you, it might only last like 30 seconds. It might last 4 minutes. It might last 30 seconds, and then I come back to it in like 30 minutes. I might forget about it altogether. But the point is, I took a second just now to celebrate that shit, and it felt good. And the gooder you feel, the more it catches on. I promise. Like, I'm just in this zone of like, again, we're too zoned in on like the doing. We've done the work. So let's zoom out a little bit and be what we set out to be, baby. I love you so much. It's my honor and pleasure to be an open book with you. Before you leave, go ahead and give yourself a hug, a mental hug, if not a physical, mental, and spiritual hug. And remember to take care out there, my friends. It all begins within, and you know what to do about it. That shit's magical.